Oh, okay. Well, prepare yourself, guys. This is Chris with Talking Through the Media, your home for entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans. Tonight, we're going to talk about Wolverine and Deadpool. Deadpool and Wolverine, we just got out of the theaters and saw it, and we're not going to give any spoilers. We're not going to spoil anything, so no spoilers. And if you guys have seen it already, please, if you're in the chat, don't spoil it for anybody, but we are going to give you our thoughts on it. Had a great time. Just going to get that out the way. Joining me tonight on a Thursday to talk about entertainment news and reviews by fans for fans is my wife, Joy Fagan. Hey, babe, how you doing?
I'm good.
Sorry, the background's not working 100%, but guys, thank you guys for joining us. We are, like I said, we're going to talk a little bit about Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine. I keep saying Wolverine first. And we're going to talk about some other entertainment news topics, some mrbeast news that just popped off. If you guys have any opinions, any thoughts on any of the topics that we're going to talk about, drop them in the comments below, and we'll highlight them at the end of the show. It's going to be a 30-minute show. We're a little bit off to a late start, but guys, anything that you guys want to say, if you want to help support the channel and donate super chat or donation questions, we really do appreciate it. We're looking forward to talking with you guys on all these things and more. So let's get right into it. First order of business is get it out the way real fast. The hot D segment that I love so much. I love talking about the hot D.
Hot D.
This week it was the kiss. That's the only thing I want to talk about. I don't care about anything else that happened on this latest episode of House of Dragon. What was going on? You looked up what was mentioned about that moment of the kiss. Let people know what really happened. You got the juice.
What I read was that it was unscripted.
It was.
The hug was part of it.
Yeah.
And it, was supposed to be a lingering hug, but then they said that it just
evolved.
Felt right to.
Let's give the people what they really want.
I don't know that when they say unscripted, they mean like we just said we're just doing this, but like the two of them were like, no, these two ladies have become. This is her trusted confidant now. She's giving her all the. Is that
the word we're using?
She's giving her all the down low on how to
get down low.
How to try to win this war, what to do.
What was that character's name again? I'll look it up.
Mysara, I think.
Yeah, like her new advisor.
Yeah.
Right, and
she seems to be the only one that they seem to understand each other. They were telling both of their sad life stories.
Yeah. It got really sad for a moment, and then it got really wrong camera. They got really understanding. And it was everybody was sitting there going, Are they good? No. Yes.
And then of course it was interrupted.
And then of course I said that. I said, watch. Someone's gonna like walk in and either catch them and be like, oh no, the queen's a lesbian, or they're just gonna break away real fast and stop kissing. But do you think since they kept the kiss in, do you think they're going to make something of their relationship? Like maybe if originally it wasn't supposed to happen like that, maybe it was supposed to be just like the chemistry but nothing really coming of it. But now do you think am I gonna get a scene is what I'm trying to say. Instead of some hot D, some hot V's.
I mean, maybe you might get some more hot kissing.
No, we need guys. Let us know. What do you want? Do you want to see some more? Are we tired of a hot V? D? Or do we need some hot V's in here? Some hot V action for the next episode of the House of Dragon. So
I know we're coming down. We got two. Two left.
Two episodes left. What do you think so far? Before we move on to the next segment? What do you think? Any predictions?
Well, I mean, I feel. I mean, there's about to be some havoc unleashed here shortly.
Between
a lot of bloodshed all over.
Yeah, who do you think is the next to go? If you had to be a betting woman, who do you think would be the next to bite the dust? And you guys in the chat, let us know if you have any thoughts on who you think is going to bite it.
I don't know. I feel like she's gonna probably Rhaenyra's probably gonna lose some more loved ones.
kids.
And then she's, going to be enraged. And we also have to find out, Sea Smoke chose the illegitimate brother.
Yeah.
As his rider. And we that was our cliffhanger. We didn't.
Yeah, we got another black rider on a
he
dragon
scared
now.
the crap out of him. He thought he was dying.
And it turned out because we thought the guy shaving his head was the one, but it turns out, yeah. So now it's the other. So it's gonna be interesting. I can't wait to see it. Next week, join us next week for another episode of Hot V. Hopefully, get some Hot V.
Will they discover why?
Why what? They kissed?
No, why he was chosen. Will it be like, oh,
to join?
It is a bloodline. Oh,
to put a little BBC in the Hot V.
Because it's not. Nobody knows about these two.
Yeah.
Kids.
Well, we will not be discussing spoilers, guys. Let me just let you guys know that. But I'm getting ahead of you. So if you're here for spoiler talk, we're going to talk spoilers on, we're thinking about next week. We want to give people some time to watch the movie. So maybe I'll do a spoiler talk this weekend, give some people some time. But most definitely, if you want to talk spoilers on Talking to the Medias, I talked with Robert Reed. And he asked if he was going to be on this episode today. I said, we're going to go to the movies. We're going to go watch Deadpool and Wolverine. And then we're going to come back and talk reviews. So I knew he probably wouldn't have time to probably watch it if he didn't schedule it like the same screening that we did. So I said, well, then maybe next week we'll talk spoilers. So if you want to talk spoilers, let me know what works best. Do you think I should talk spoilers for Deadpool and Wolverine just by myself maybe this weekend? Or do you want to see the whole panel next week? Give it a week and we'll talk about it. Maybe we should do that. Let me know in the box if you which one you want to do. But we're not going to talk spoilers this tonight. We're going to give people some time.
It's fresh out the box.
Yeah, it's fresh out the box. All right, let's move on to the next topic before we get to the Deadpool and Wolverine talk. Movies turning 10, 20, 30 years old. At the end of the month, every month we always talk about movies that are turning 10, turning 20 years old, starting with the movies that are turning 10. Lucy, Scarlett Johansson's movie Lucy, that's sci-fi. It was an okay movie. It did I don't know what it did in the box office, but it was weird. It was I think some kind of medicine that she took, and then she became like this being that could use 100% of her brain, and she did all kinds of science trippy things with her new powers, and it was just a sci-fi. It was a movie. It was good. There was a couple of scenes that went viral recently on TikTok. I don't believe this movie really did much of a splash. It was.
I don't even remember this.
But it's worth a watch. I liked it. But I only remember liking it and going, okay, I watched it, and then I moved on. If you guys have more fond memories of Lucy, let me know what you guys think about that. But that's turning 10. Also turning 10, Hercules with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I know, baby, you haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this one. I don't know if you were even interested in seeing it. I heard, if you guys, I'm sorry, wrong camera again. That's the back of the TV monitor. I heard that was the beginning of the movie was decent, but then it kind of just went downhill. Like the first act was better than the rest of the movie, but The Rock really didn't really wow anybody with this one. But there's probably a bunch of people who loved it. But I'm one of those movies I haven't seen. So I haven't seen any of the movies that we're talking about that are turning 10.
Typically, that's not my kind of movie. However, that new one coming out with Poppy Pedro.
Yeah.
I gotta see that.
The Gladiator 2,
yeah.
You mean? Yeah.
Because that trailer that we saw today looked good.
Turning 20 years old. Let's move on to that. iRobot. Any thoughts about that? Any of you guys have thoughts about any of these movies that are turning 10, 20, 30 years old?
I haven't seen that in so long. I don't even know if I remember all of it.
I remember that watching it in the movie theater. I just remember that when the main bad guy, or who we thought was the main bad guy, was like in the beginning of the movie explaining something to Will Smith's character. He played a police officer. And I remember Will Smith was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm just allergic to bullshit. Like he has some funny lines in it. the concept of a world where the robots are like servants, and but one and they follow the rules of they can't hurt humans and stuff, but in a robot that committed murder, and Will Smith was a detective that had to investigate it, and it was like the reason why this robot committed murder was really interesting and whatnot. So it was one. I mean, it was during a time when Will Smith couldn't do any wrong as far as his movies. His movies was hit after hit after hit, but that was one of my favorite ones. Now, I was in Iraq when I saw this next movie, and I remember when we debuted this movie for the soldiers over there, and I remember one soldier came out so fucking mad. He was like, "That movie sucked. Oh my God, this movie was so terrible." Catwoman. But did you ever see Catwoman, by the way? The Halle Berry?
I know I have. Could I tell you anything about it? No.
You saw it once.
I know I've seen
Sharon
it.
Stone was in that one too. I believe was the main bad guy.
It's just once.
Very forgettable.
Whenever, and I don't really remember a lot about it.
I just remember that weird scene where she was kind of transforming, and then her boss was in her ear asking her to get to work or something, and she was like, she said something bad about him, and he was like, "What did you say?" He's like, "Oh, you didn't hear me? Why don't I play the remix?" And like, it was a stupid ass line. It was so stupid. It was so dumb. That movie was hot garbage. But recently on her Instagram, Halle Berry celebrated the 20-year anniversary. She had like pictures of her with cats and stuff like that. So yeah. So I think that was the movie where she went to the Razzies with her Oscar to accept the Razzie. So she, hey, she was a good sport about it. So hey, any fond memories of Catwoman you guys have of that? Let us know. Also turning I think 20 years old, The Village, the first M. Night Shyamalan movie that I really did not like, and then that led to more. But the first one that I predicted the ending. I was back when M. Night Shyamalan's twists were so unpredictable and was so cool. But I remember watching this movie and feeling so bored and going, what if this movie looks like it takes place in like the 15th century, but really takes place present time? And that's exactly what the twist was. It was the modern time. Just some people that decided to live like they were back in the 14th century or whatever.
No, thank you.
And it was no good. Wasn't a good twist. All right, moving on to movies turning, and after this we'll talk about Deadpool. Moving on to movies turning 30. True Lies.
That's a great
classic.
Movie. Love it.
Classic. Any fond memories? Any thoughts? And you guys have any thoughts about True Lies, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and
Jamie Lee Curtis
dance slowly. I'm gonna have to get you to dance like that for me, babe. Would you do that for me? What do you think? Would you get on that pole for me? We got to buy a pole. Yeah, I'm like waiting for the answer. I'm like, come on, do it slowly, do it. But that and what's her name from Buffy played their daughter, right? And the woman who played Faith, I believe, was their daughter, and she played Faith in Buffy. But she was in, I think this was her first movie role or whatever, one of the first. She was also in Bring It On, right? The girl from Buffy. She played their. Oh, anyway, I don't know. I can't remember the name. But one of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. That's the one where what's his face? Was it Bill Paxton? Was he in that one? Man from Twister who passed away, the original Twister. Remember. He played the guy that was pretending to be Schwarzenegger, trying to woo Jamie Lee Curtis in the bed.
Roseanne's ex-husband
that
was when he was really coming up in the times with his movies and
that career. Was an amazing scene where they caught the guy pretending to be Schwarzenegger. And he was all they pulled the gun on him and stuff, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm not worth it. Oh, I got a small dick. It's pathetic. Oh no." I couldn't help it. I had to try to get her. She had a butt like a 13-year-old boy. I'm like, what? That movie had so many cool one-liners. I couldn't believe it, but I loved. There's another one that's very beloved. 30 years ago, turning 30 this month. The Mask. Come on, we all have some fond memories of The Mask. Do you remember watching The Mask with Jim Carrey?
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it? I loved it.
I love Jim Carrey.
What's her name? Cameron Diaz. Mm-hmm. Movie where which one came out first? Was it The Mask or was it Something About Mary? I remember. I think this one was first, and then Something About Mary was really like people were really paying attention to Cameron Diaz. But I thought this was one of Jim's funniest ones. I liked it. It was like the Deadpool of its time.
I don't know. When it comes to Jim Carrey, I'm more of the Ace Ventura pet detective.
Yeah. That's exactly. Also, I believe that one of those. I think part 1 and part 2 should be turning 30 pretty soon. Or did we already talk about it? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think about these movies that are turning 10, 20, 30 years old. What are your fond memories of those? And let's keep talking. All right, now let's get into the main topic right now. Like I said, no spoilers. We are not going to discuss spoilers. So if you've seen this movie already, you want to talk about it, be vague, be respectful. Let me know your thoughts on it. But if you haven't seen it, don't worry. I'm not gonna spoil anything. I'm only gonna give you my feelings on it. We're gonna share my feelings on it. But this movie was everything I
awesome.
hoped it was gonna be.
I will say,
check out that picture I got right there. Back to the Future.
Ryan Reynolds did an interview on like, I think it was Tonight Show.
Mm-hmm.
And Jimmy Fallon was pressing him for the deets. Who's Lady Deadpool. He wouldn't talk about it.
He wouldn't tell anybody.
He was like, because he just blatantly said, is it Taylor Swift? And he said, come on now.
You know he knew.
But he was like, well, I hear there's a lot of cameos. And he goes, look, there's no cameos. There's surprises.
Big surprise.
Because he goes, cameos are a quick pop-up, oh my gosh, look who that is. And that's it, they're done. They're not part of the storyline. They don't really do anything. It's just, oh my God, I can't believe that's who that is. And that's it. He goes, these are not cameos. These are surprises. And whether it's the beginning, the middle, the end, they are part of the story. And he goes, and we got lots of surprises.
Yeah.
So.
And I agree with that. So what did you think about the surprises overall? What did you think about the film?
I thought they were awesome. I personally, they were weren't anything I would have ever guessed.
But the movie overall, like.
Oh, I love the movie. I mean, I'm a huge Ryan Reynolds fan. His quick wit and the most random stuff that comes out of his mouth is always just hilarious.
Everything was on point. I believe that. I'm trying to get this. I'm trying to get the chat box working right now. I think that I was curious about how you were going to take this movie because you've never seen any of the original X-Men movies, but you've seen the Deadpool movies. But you never wanted to see. You never went back to go watch any of the original X-Men, like X-Men 1, 2, or 3, or X-Men Origin. So a lot of the one-liners that were in some of those movies went over your head, but there was some, and I can't say which. Really, we can't say which ones from the movies you did see. I'll just say it like that. There was some okay, let me just put it like this. There was a lot of Fox love, 20th Century Fox love, that if you came up and loving some of those Fox movies or all of the Fox Cinematic Universe Marvel movies, this was a nice. Disney did a great job honoring what Fox was back then from the 2000s and up till Disney absorbed them without giving away the ones that you did catch. What did you think about some of those surprises?
Well, I mean, even without seeing them all, I mean, a lot of those faces, without seeing any other movies.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you go, oh my, it's nostalgia. You go, oh, wow, I can't believe that, or I can't believe that, because somebody hadn't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
Even though to others it's probably a bigger deal because they saw movies or whatever, but it was still good. It didn't take anything away from me, personally. Sure. I mean, and as usual, Ryan Reynolds and his breaking of the fourth wall is hilarious. So, I mean, he really made sure to lay on the, bye-bye Fox, suck it, Disney pays better. You know, like he just was
Yeah,
loading.
those jokes land. I was worried about how some of those jokes would land. Like, how much would they have been allowed to? And it looks like I got the lower third working. So if you guys want to say anything, I'll pull them up right here where that is. I'm just getting this fixed up. But I was surprised at how much those jabs at Fox or at Disney or Kevin Feige, because we saw them talk a little bit about it in the trailers, but I was really surprised on how much, like from the trailer that a lot of people saw with the when the TVA pulled out the sticks and he made that pegging joke and whatnot on the trailer.
It's
I was like,
this is Disney now.
Yeah, this is Disney. I'm used to it, but Disney, woo,
It's like, we gotta.
So that wasn't the trailer, and I was like, okay, they're giving us a taste of what.
I mean, and some of it's. I mean, I don't really consider it a spoiler. It's stuff that people have. I guess have always wanted X-Men and Marvel. So he made references like, "Oh, don't you wish?"
Yeah, exactly.
Don't you wish you got what Marvel can do? He made little jokes and cracks about stuff like that,
and beyond, and beyond. Even like I said, without giving it away, there was a lot of honoring of 20th Century Fox, and they did it in a special way. Now, this was the bloodiest one out of all three of them. It was tons of action, tons of excitement, and I like the way Deadpool would even acknowledge it. Like every time something majorly, like action wise, was about to happen, he would look at the camera and be like, "Oh, you guys are gonna love this. Watch what's about to happen right now." Even before that, "Oh yeah, you're about to get your money's worth." And he would acknowledge that this is a big moment. Like I like the fact that during periods of the movie, he would like, "This is a big moment." Check. Well, he would say something like that without really saying it. We saw in the trailer that X-22, the daughter, the young lady who played in The Acolyte, who played one of our favorite little Padawans,
Jackie,
and you were like, and that was one of those movies that you didn't see any of the Wolverine movies too. So, what did you think about getting to meet X-22? You got a taste of exactly who she was. Or I'll put it like this, because she was younger back, and that was.
I didn't recognize it until, because that's not really a spoiler either. Like you said, they paid.
They showed that little conversation that they had on the log on the trailers, but don't talk about anything else.
No, I'm talking about the end credits, where they were paying homage and just giving lots of old footage. Yeah,
that's. I mean, if you don't, that's not a spoiler. Yeah, so just to let you know, guys know, at the. There is an after credit scene, so of course it's Marvel,
and it's but you gotta really wait.
But for the mid credit, there was just an homage.
It's just tons of footage from tons of Fox
from the Fox movies. Yeah, so
behind the scenes bloopers.
That's fair to say that, because that's not a spoiler, because most of you have seen those movies already. So that's the mid credit moment. It's just they just show love to Fox.
Yeah, and that's when I saw a snippet of her, some of the behind the scenes from
Logan,
where she's little, and I was like, oh, so it's the same girl.
It was the same girl.
She's
yeah,
just older now.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh yeah, it is the same girl.
Yeah. And it was a good moment. It was just like in the trailer, how they explain how we finally got the Wolverine in the suit that we wanted to see him in. And they explain, why he's wearing it and why it's such a big deal. I'm just curious I wonder if, because I feel like the Wolverine that we got in Logan was a different Wolverine or a different universe from the other X-Men movie. That's how I feel. I feel like Logan is a different universe from, or maybe Logan's universe was the universe that Deadpool is in. I feel like that's the same, the Wolverine from that. But I think that's a different Wolverine from like the first X-Men movie. And I wondered if this Wolverine that we got in Deadpool and Wolverine was the same Wolverine from the first X-Men movie. And I know it's weird to think that, because you're like, they got to be the same. No, I feel like Logan was an Elseworld Wolverine. I think that Wolverine is different from the Wolverine from the first two movies and then the other standalone Wolverine movies. I don't know why, but if you see this movie and if you feel the same way, let me know. Maybe I'll make that into a question in the future. Do you think Logan was was a variant, was a different Wolverine, in a totally different universe from the Hugh Jackman Wolverine that we got from the first movies? Now, moving on to another question about Wolverine real quick. If there was the question was, one of the questions was, were we going to see the Wolverine moving forward in this movie? If there was a variant Wolverine, and I'm not going to say if there is or there's not, but if there was a Wolverine, or did you think that we got, or that Marvel would have told us this might be or might not be a Wolverine moving forward? Did you think no? That was because I actually had a question after we left the theater. Do you think Kevin Feige was like maybe, or no? I got that actor, but hard. I'm never gonna reveal it.
I mean, because there's jokes cracked about
because he's not going to play Wolverine anymore, Hugh Jackman. But I guess that's my question. Do you think the new Wolverine has been cast? If you were betting on it, or do you think the search goes on?
Probably not yet. I think we would have heard more about it.
Do you? Oh man, there was so many cameos, and like I said, we're not going to talk spoilers. There was so many moments, with the surprises that you were talking about. That guys, I'll tell you this: the question was answered that I posed on We Got Your Mail here on the show. The question was, do you think it's Blake Lively, or do you think it's Taylor Swift in there? The question was answered, but not in the way you think. That was the interesting part. I thought they would make it blatantly obvious, like whether that was one or the other. But you don't get the answer. Unless you really, I don't want to say it. If you really listen, you kind of, I guess, if you know. But you don't really get the answer until you finish watching the movie, if that makes sense. But overall, now my final question. $1 billion or no? Do you think this movie is going to make $1 billion? Mm-hmm. You think this is $1 billion movie? Not the first. It won't be the first movie that's rated R to make $1 billion. I think Joker was the first to do this, but
no, I think it will.
And do you think that? My other follow-up question. The other question that we put on the poll, and we'll talk about that on this weekend's We Got Your Mail. But I'm going to ask you, Joy. Box office weekend. What did you say you think it was going to range this week, this opening week, domestically? Where do you think it's going to hit?
I don't know. I've seen so.
But now that you've seen the movie, because originally you said, it's not going to make $300 million. It's not going to make maybe this much. But now that you've seen the movie. Do you think how many people are going to go back and watch this movie before Sunday's out?
It can do it. I mean,
what do you think it's going to hit?
If Twisters, which by the way is awesome, can get the numbers that it got unexpectedly.
Movies have been making money this year.
This is one that's expected, and I think meets what people are hoping for. Mm-hmm. I think it can do it. I think it can definitely get close to 300. So you're still in the between 250 to 300 pocket. I'm there. Yeah, I think it's somewhere between 250 million to 300. But at first I said I think it'll be closer to 250 million than it is to 300. Now I'm thinking maybe somewhere near 275. I'm thinking it might get somewhere around there. Maybe between 275 to 300 million. Because I do think people are going to go back because they're going to be
I want to go back.
They're going to be like, I need to go back and look for the Easter eggs and the things I missed and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm thinking closer between 275. I'm thinking 275.
Plus, we saw it in 3D, and it was a lot in your face.
It was oh man, especially in the beginning, it was a lot in your, and you know, and if you already know that Deadpool is a lot. So watching Deadpool and Wolverine in 3D, you're gonna get a lot of uncomfortable things shoved in your face. That was funny as hell. That was hilarious, and they did it on purpose. A lot of D&B action in your face. If you follow me, if you know what I mean, it was. Especially that first opening scene, it was a lot of uncomfortable crotches in your face. They abused 3D. That's my hot take. There's my hot take. Deadpool abused.
So which you didn't even
sexually.
realize that's what you got. You were like,
you felt violated.
You were like, we're watching 3D. I didn't buy this.
That wasn't 3D. That was ST 3D. Was some ST3D.
Can you imagine the 4DX if they had it with?
Oh yeah, with that smell-o-vision. Oh man, that would have been. I buy that for $1. But yeah, Deadpool Wolverine, Hugh Jackman crushed it in his what I'm assuming is his final role, the final play as Wolverine. Crushed it. It was just as heartfelt as Logan was. That's what was originally his song.
And there's quite a few too unexpected little digs.
Yeah.
On different actors and actresses' personal.
Oh yes.
That you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like when you got a cameo. Not all. Well, he did that with what's his name who played Thanos when he played Cable. In Deadpool 2, he made fun of him and called him Thanos, and so there's breaking the fourth wall, but then those personal digs on that actor's real life.
You're like, okay,
that
right.
got it like 2 or 3 times. It got personal. Whether
one
it
of
was
them you didn't even catch until afterwards.
Yeah,
It
was. And damn it, and during the spoiler talk, we'll talk more about it. There was one of the surprise moments. Where and if you are a fan of Fox of all the movies, the successful ones or the ones that failed or both, you'll kind of be able to guess where I'm going with it, with these personal digs, if said actor or actress was in the movie at all. But it's you'll get, if you watch the movie, listen closely to these digs, these personal jabs, especially to, like I said, not just the character, making fun of the character. They made fun of the actor. Hilarious moment. We'll get into the. Oh no! Did it freeze?
I say we're frozen.
Oh, maybe it's just me. Let's see if it's you. Are you frozen? No. Okay, it's probably just my camera again. I'll fix it. But that was a funny shot for me to be frozen. Look at that frozen right there. Oh man! All right,
Put on your listening ears.
I'll try to reset my camera. I'll put it back on you guys. But let us know what you guys think. And let's move on now. I guess that's a good time to move on to the next one. So if you guys still want to ask questions about Deadpool and Wolverine, let us know. I'm gonna fix my camera and we'll talk about what you guys want to say. But before we go, let's go into the why is that trending portion of the show real quick. So the news that came out was, everybody knows Mr. Beast, one of the most followed person on YouTube. It's been a little bit of a scandal. One of Mr. Beast's acquaintance that's been working with, I believe it's Ava. Is the name Anya or Anya Tyler?
Ava
Tyler.
Ava Tyson.
Tyson. Okay. Just like when we talked about with Dr. Disrespect, inappropriate conversations with minors, and everyone wanted to know what kind of statement Mr. Beast had. I think I have a little on my notes written out here. Mr. Beast statement regarding Ava Tyson accused of messaging of a minor. YouTube channel Prism42 posted screenshots of the conversation that appeared to be extremely inappropriate with the minor, and just your overall thoughts. So I just wanted to ask you guys the question, or you guys that are watching, your thoughts on how would this affect now other channels. It can affect you and you can be destroyed totally. Is Mr. Beast cancelable? How do you think this will affect Mr. Beast? It's not Mr. Beast that's accused of this, but an acquaintance. And it took him a while to really respond to it. What do you think about knowing how powerful Mr. Beast is and popular?
It's somebody he knows
the
that
person,
did this?
The person on the right side of the screen that you're looking at is an acquaintance. Works with Mr. Beast for a long time. That's had inappropriate conversations with a minor. Do you think, and you guys that you're watching, do you think this is going to affect Mr. Beast overall?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I'm not personal friends with these people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
isn't it funny though how much this is starting to come out now?
I guess if there's documentation or proof or something somewhere that shows that Mr. Beast had some knowledge, had some sort of idea and was just ignoring it, well, that could affect him because then you were aware.
It's funny that you said that because there is some speculation. Uh-oh, did I switch to the wrong camera? Uh-oh, my bad. So there is some speculation that Mr. Beast knew it. My camera is still frozen, but I'm going to see if I can try to get it back up now. Be deactivated.
Because that's the thing.
And reactivated. There we go. I'm back. But say it again?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That could possibly affect him as if it's like, you knew about this and you didn't do anything or you didn't say anything and you were still friends or working with this person.
But that's the benefit of also being the most followed YouTuber in the world now. Because unless there's 100% concrete proof,
right.
he'll be so popular, he probably was untouchable.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I was unaware.
Well, this is the official statement coming in from Mr. Beast himself. If you don't, I don't know if you can see it, babe. Could you read that for me?
Maybe.
I can. I got it. I can because it's closer to me.
It's far away from me.
I got to put this statement. I'll try to go full screen on it. Here we go. Over the last few days, I've become aware of the serious allegations of Ava Tyson's behavior online, and I am disgusted and opposed to such unacceptable acts. During that time, I have been focused on hiring an independent third party to conduct a thorough investigation to ensure I have all the facts. That said, I've seen enough online and taken immediate action to remove Ava from the company, my channel, and any associations with Mr. Beast. I do not condone or support any of that inappropriate action. I will allow the independent investigators the necessary time to conduct a comprehensive investigation and will take any further actions based on their findings. It sounds to me based on that it's like, no, I'm not going to let any of this affect my empire at all. Because Mr. Beast does a lot of good.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to let this. I'm sorry, we've been friends for years. Being friends for years is probably the benefit of the doubt that he gave. That's why he didn't say anything right away. But when it was too indefensible or just blatantly obvious or whatever, Mr. Beast was like, nope, real quick action. Now, whether or not, like you said, if
what turns out different. I mean, obviously, all over the whole world, people have people in their life, and we don't know what they do in their private time.
Right.
And we can't control that.
Right.
So this would be a different thing if it was just like, well, yes, I know who this person is. This is a friend of mine. They don't work for, I just know who they are.
Right.
Because I can't do anything about that. But it's the fact that this person worked for him. So you've now affected my company, my business. So, I mean, technically he probably has grounds to file legal. I mean, because you're messing with my business now.
And we're not associated. And here's another thing that I'm disgusted by. I'm disgusted by a bunch of people like, what's that guy's name? That red pill dude that's always in trouble. Forgot his name already. He's like, he lives in another country, but he's always, anyway, I don't give a damn. Like people like there are some red pill guys that are always trying to make it because it was a trans woman, like trying to say that this is what they all do and whatnot. You're totally ignoring Mr. Dr. Disrespect was literally also accused of the exact same thing. You're not saying that, but they're trying to make this
their narrative.
the narrative that it's always it's 100% that it's no. This is not a this skin color or this gender or this whatever community or group that whatever you're trying to put it on. It's about a YouTuber or an influencer who had an inappropriate conversation allegedly with my period. Doesn't matter what their race is, their what country of origin, or their sexual orientation, any of that stuff. And so I'm just sick of they always try. You'll totally see politicians who hypocritical politicians currently being accused of it right now. Totally will ignore that. But the second it's any group that they don't like, they just pounce on them and say, "Oh, see, that's what." A black guy commits a crime. It's like that's how they all are. It gets on my nerves how they wait for it so they can push that agenda. Sick of it. So it's like it's that part of it is pissing me off. But I'm glad that at least Mr. Beast made a statement, and like I said, we'll see what shakes loose from the whole thing. Now, if it does turn out that Mr. Beast knew, I mean, come on. I mean, that would be bad, but I don't know. Mr. Beast seems like one of those guys that is so powerful now that the benefit of the doubt is what they'll always get. I don't believe it. That's the word fake news and all that stuff. Who knows? So I hope that he's not wasn't aware of it and tried to cover anything up. But let's just find out. Let us know what you guys think. Moving on from all that was what was trending this week. But before we go, one of the things that was I'm going to put this under I had this under headlines, but I guess I'll stay under the why is that trending? There's a new guy on TikTok. He's not new, but I'm just now started to follow him, and he's funny as hell. I think it's called Advice from Lewis Reloaded. I believe that's what their TikTok name is. And his TikTok and his videos are funny as hell because he's always calling out the hypocrisy of people online, and he's always doing the voiceovers in the background, having an argument technically with himself, but he's always playing the opposition, and the opposition is always going no and that, and he's doing all these funny voices. So he did one video that I want to share with you guys that cracked me up because it speaks to me on a real estate level. So here's the clip real quick, and I'll put you on screen, Joe, to get you because I don't think you've seen this yet. So let me show you this real fast.
Hello, I'm interested in renting this property. Okay, but how much do you make a month? $10,000 a month. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You need to make at least 3 times the rent. Otherwise, you can't afford it. The property's going for $4,000. Yeah, and unfortunately for you, 4,000 times 3 is 12,000. So you're too broke. I can definitely afford that. Yeah, buddy. They're selling a box on the corner. Maybe that'll work out better. Why do I need to make 3 times if I can already afford $4,000 a month? I'll make way more. You need to be able to pay rent on top of your other bill. You don't know my other bills? I sure do. $1 bill, another $1 bill. I know you won't miss payments. I have a good credit score. Sorry, that's not enough. Look, if you don't have 3 times the rent, that just automatically means you won't pay it. Just help me understand this. Go. So, if I'm great with my money, I don't know that. And I make more than enough to cover the rent, so you can get good payment from me, especially my credit score. Okay. Why would I need to make 3 times? To make sure you pay your rent on time. You need to make $150,000 a year. If somebody was making 3 times the rent, why would they want to live here? Because they can't afford anything higher, because they need 3 times that rent. Lamborghinis and Bugattis are allowed in my broken down complex. Well, I make $10,000 a month, and I want to live here, not in a $3,000. Then I guess you just got to move to Section A. Good luck with cockroaches and bed bugs. Congratulations, you're officially at the bottom of poverty. Who made this rule? Your landlord. Look, you shouldn't be spending half your income on rent. Are you following? No, I'm not following. That's because you're broke. All you do is complain. Broke boy, broke boy. I'm not broke. I can afford this. How can you afford this when I just rejected your application? It's too late. Good luck in Section A. Cockroaches on your plate.
So that's so $10,000 a month. Now, I'm a real estate broker. The concept of 3 times the rent is standard for most places, but what usually happens and what currently goes on, especially I can only speak for Texas. What I've seen is when the prices get that high, over $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, whatever they think in this scenario, the rent was $4,000 a month. He makes $10,000, but he doesn't make 3 times the rent. That usually in that situation, it's the homeowners would require that you make at least 2 times the rent or 2.5 times the rent, usually. But on overall, the standard is 3 times the rent because the homeowner wants to be able to cover their butt. But what we're not looking at is you could have a 3-bedroom apartment or a condo or whatever that's probably like, I don't know, like 1,000 square feet. I don't know what, I'm just making something up. 3,000 or not 3,000, like 1,000 or 2,000 square feet. And the rent is like $1,500 a month or whatever. So you got to make 3 times the rent. But your bills, because you have to cover your bills. But even if you're in a $4,000 a month luxury house, and it's still the same square footage, the bills would theoretically still be the same. So you're not going to have $6,000 worth of utilities.
They don't. Again, they don't really take into account like looking at your bills, because there's a big difference. It's like, I picked a $1,500 rent and I make $5,000, but like I own my car, I don't have any credit cards, like I don't have any bills, so I totally can cover my rent. I'm not overextended, but you're fine with what you perceive to be Richie Rich, who with like that one, $10,000. Or what if he made $12,000? Yeah. Okay, it's 3 times the rent, so I meet it, but I own 4 cars. They're all a Lamborghini. Yeah, I have no debt. I got $500 car notes. I got credit cards that are maxed at $10,000 a piece. I got all this stuff. So my bills, I can barely pay.
I'm not gonna have, like I said, I'm not gonna have $6,000 worth of bills. I mean, there's some people that do, but there's some people that most people don't. Even with whether you live in luxurious or in the hood, you're not gonna have your gas, water, internet, electricity is not gonna exceed that much. Usually in that scenario, from what I've seen as a realtor, for rent that's above $3,000 a month, the homeowners usually are reasonable. Some aren't, but they'll usually say make at least 2 times the rent, usually. But then you'll get those homeowners that go like the rent is $10,000 a month. You better make $30,000 a month.
Sitting on, sitting with nobody renting it for like on the market for 300 days because they say no to everybody.
Yeah, and we've seen that too. Right, well, the last time we were looking for homes, especially one for ourselves, homes that we qualified for, they were like, we don't know.
They can ask whatever they want. Some of them are, we want this, nothing but this score, nothing but this amount of money, the blood of your firstborn child, Rumpelstiltskin, all this stipulations, and that nobody meets. So then your house just sits there empty, and you're paying for it.
Like I said, and as a realtor and as a homeowner, I get it. I know that the homeowners are usually worried about whether or not they can cover their mortgage and things like that because they don't want to be put in a bad situation. But usually, when the rent is that high, they usually come down on how much you need to make a month to afford it. Because if you can afford the rent, your bills typically aren't going to be like $5,000 a month. Now, if they check your credit and see that your bills are $5,000 or you're so much, I would say that if they would, what I've seen for luxurious houses that are up for rent, $4,000 a month or more, what usually happens is you have to make at least 2 times the rent and your credit score has to be decent. Like you own your car, like you said, and stuff like that. But if your credit score is bad and you make $30,000 a month, the first thing that homeowner is going to say is, "Why is your credit so bad? Why haven't you paid this stuff off yet?" Already. So that it usually balances out. But this guy here is funny. I like it when he talks politics.
Same mostly. Thing that a lot of people have said for a long time now. If I made that kind of money, I wouldn't be freaking renting.
But that's usually the homeowner's point too. Well, okay. Well, then go buy. You make that kind of money. Why haven't you bought a house by now? That's usually a red flag for homeowners too. Well, why haven't you?
Because most of them are like, yeah, because when I try to buy the house that I should be able to buy, they tell me, no, you don't make enough.
Because you're broke. Welcome to Section 8.
I can't pick it. I can't be right on any side.
Go back to the hood with the cockroaches. That's what I'm saying. Anyway. That's just a little. As I said, I saw this video. I thought it was funny to talk through it. I thought it was pretty cool. But I think that's all the topics. Mostly, guys. Like I said, we just got out of the movie theater and when we just saw Deadpool and Wolverine, we had a blast with it. Would you? I know you said this is one of the movies that you would want to watch again, babe. Mm-hmm. Would you want to go to the theaters and watch it again, or would you just wait till it comes on Disney Plus after it makes its billions, or do you want to add to the billion?
I mean, I might go see it in the theater again. Not
3D?
in 3D.
3D?
Not in 3D. That was a lot.
So just to add to the pot. So we put our money in on that 3D pot. I thought it was great. Oh well, before we go, I think we had some comments.
Well, we had someone wanting us to spill spoilers, which we can't do.
Yeah. What did you think about? They said there would be one.
He's trying to cover up what the spoiler is by putting asterisks so that people can't tell. But it's a spoiler. Can't talk about it. It's a spoiler.
Okay, I will keep that. I'm glad, and thanks for covering it up. I'll keep that in mind for We Got Your Mail, and I'll get back with you.
I mean, it's something I discussed with you, but I can't talk about it right now.
Okay. I will keep that and for later when we talk about it on We Got Your Mail, or check me out on social media. I'll DM me or something. I'll hook you up. Let's see. Deadpool and Wolverine domestic box office debut predictions 180. It was always around 180, but then it started moving up to 200 million. I'm now at that it's going to be over. Let me change that back. I'm now back to no, that's not it. That's not the right one. Damn, where is it? There we go. Nope, wrong one. Okay, I'm now back to I'm over 275. Around 275. That's where I'm at. Closer to 300. But that's where I'm at. That's my prediction. And is this a spoiler? Okay.
No, he's talking about
From
the
Kevin
Joker.
Davis, Joaquin Phoenix will give good performance as Joker. Lady Gaga can sing. Will the audience give them a second chance again? Okay, is that a line from a second chance again? Is that a line from the trailer? Because I can't wait to see Joker 2. I want to see what Lady Gaga does. We already know Joaquin Phoenix is going to crush it, but I'm curious on seeing how Lady Gaga is going to perform as Harley Quinn. And before we go, we got a message from Nixon says, Chris is always accurate with his box office predictions. Of course. Thank you. Appreciate it. Have I been? Pretty good. Thanks. I should know because I like to boast and brag about stuff like that. Whenever I love when people say that I'm right. It's because it happens every day. No, okay. Anywho, go see Deadpool and Wolverine 5 times in the theater. Let's get this thing over 300 mil. It's a $1 billion movie. It's a lock. There's no way. There was a line to the bathroom. That's how packed this theater was. 4:30 in the afternoon. This movie theater was packed. People skipped work, left work early to go see this thing early. It was awesome. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch it again in the theaters. But yeah, not in 3D. Like I said, you couldn't handle it too much.
I
didn't mind it after.
It's because we weren't like super close, but for 3D kind of close. Might have been better if we were like way in the back.
We got another box office prediction. I'm gonna wait for it to pop up on the so I can bring it up on the lower third. But it says from Kevin Davis, Despicable Me 4 box office total run prediction 600 to 700 million. I think that surprised a lot of people too. I didn't think that it was going to make that much. I'm gonna make that bigger too, because
make it a day. Go to the movie, see Deadpool, Wolverine, and see Twister too. Because just make it a whole action.
You want
an action day?
Yeah. Deadpool, Wolverine. What's another one that did? Inside Out 2 was also a surprise. That's already over 1.4 billion, if I'm not mistaken. Deadpool and Wolverine and Twisters would be a good double feature. I'm not gonna lie.
Just an action-packed day.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. That would be actually a good double feature. I could go in seeing Twisters and then going right in to see Deadpool and Wolverine. That is a good. It's not a Barbenheimer, but it's a Deadpool twist or some Deadpool Wolverine twist. But that's a good double feature. I wouldn't mind seeing that. So yeah, that's what we recommend. But yeah, Deadpool. Despicable Me 4 prediction. That's your prediction. Okay, that's your prediction. Where you think it's gonna land? I wonder where it's at right now. Is it at 5? I think it's at 500 mil right now. But if that's your prediction, hey, let's see. I think has any of the Despicable Me's made $1 billion? I think so. But it's no time to. Are you looking it up? What you got? The box office for Despicable Me 4 is
574 million.
It's at 574 million. Okay. So yeah, you're probably right. That's where it's gonna land, between 600.
It says
it's gonna be. It's definitely gonna.
It said Despicable Me 3 was $1 billion.
There you go. I know one of them made $1 billion, but yeah, you're right, Kevin. You're right. It's going to be between 600 and 700. It might not cross the 7, but it will definitely cross the 6. You're right. 100%. All right, guys. We're gonna call it a night. Thank you guys. We have to, like I said, we have to go to the theater. We have to rush and get home after watching it. I have to hurry up and put these graphics together. My camera didn't work. I got to figure out what's going on with that. I got to replace that damn thing. But thank you guys for listening to us talk a little bit about Deadpool and Wolverine. We had a great time with it. Let us know in the box if you want me to get back with you this weekend, like Sunday, or are you okay with waiting when there's a full panel? We can talk full Deadpool and Wolverine. Let's do the panel. Let's wait until Robert's here and we all get here, and after we all watch it, maybe I don't know if Tabitha might show up. We might get a full panel here and let's discuss it. Let us know what your thoughts are after you see Deadpool and Wolverine. No spoilers, but in the box here below, let us know your thoughts on Deadpool and Wolverine after you see it, and tell us what you think about it. For me, I'm Chris Fagan. You can catch me at Chris W. Fagan on all socials, or at T3 Media Studios. And baby, if they want to find you online, where can they always do so?
My TikTok is Viola Fagan, and my Instagram is Scrub Hats and More by Joy.
Until next time, guys, have a good one. See you later, guys. Peace. Thank you guys for watching our video. I really do appreciate it. Remember, you can support our show by becoming a member or a Patreon. So click the subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so you'll never miss out on when we go live or post new content. Let's stay connected, grow this community together. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's keep talking.